Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Post to Post podcast. With me, as always, is my co-host Chris Ronan. How are you doing, bud?
Doing all right, man. How's things for you? Everything going okay?
Everything's doing well. It's Friday night, baby. Getting the weekend started with the podcast.
Nice. I got a bunch of skates in this week, actually. I played my normal Wednesday morning, and then I filled in, I think Wednesday night, 10 o'clock game in Hingham.
Nice.
So I played that, and then I picked up next Monday, too, 10 o'clock at Thayer. So
I was just saying, I think I felt my age. Not last week, but the week before. I was fine, got on the ice, and I don't know what the hell I did between being off the ice and onto the ice, but something happened to my lower back, and the entire time I was just stretching out my lower back. I get off, and it's all older guys, too, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell happened. They all looked at me, like, straight-faced, like, you're getting old, bud. And I'm like, no, this is what it's like. Oh, I never thought this day would come. Here I am, almost 32 at the end of this month. Can you believe that?
Jesus. Happy birthday coming up, then.
Terrible. Cool. I feel like I'm 60 years old.
Nice.
Well, I don't know, man. Should I start doing the will now?
Oh, Jesus, dude. You're getting dark on me.
I don't know, man. I just feel old. That's all it is. What the hell fell? Oh, no, dude. Okay. This is what it is. You want me to start this off, bud?
You got it.
All right.
Take it away.
These are actually my notes, too. So, the Edmonton Oilers traded goalie Alex Stalock to the Sharks for future considerations. This comes the day after the Oilers claimed him off waivers by Minnesota. Stalock's last NHL game was with Minnesota back on March 7th, 2020. And I don't know why they have that's in my notes, but it is what it is.
That's pretty freaking surprising that Stalock's last game was 2020, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I never would have guessed that. That's wild.
Right. I feel like he's at least played a few games, right?
Well, apparently not, right?
Apparently not. Yep.
I felt like he did. I felt like he was still relevant. I thought he was really good when he was in the league back in 2020. He was not a household name, but
No, not at all.
an NHL fan would know him and say he's a pretty good goalie, probably like top 15 in the league.
I think he was solid with Minnesota, and when he got traded back, it's actually back to San Jose.
Back to
He was
San
with
Jose.
San Jose. I think he was solid on both teams. Like, I wouldn't say a starter, but a solid backup at least. You know.
Know what I want to look into? I want to find out what future considerations actually end up being. Like, does anyone end up following up? Like, oh, by the way, thanks for that, Alex Stalock. Here's this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like it's more of like maybe like a show of goodwill between the two teams. It's like, hey, we do a lot of business together. Like, keep us in mind for the future if there's some moves that you're looking to make. You know what I mean?
That might be it. I like. Like, I can only imagine, like, draft day, you know? Or just like, hey, remember we gave you, like, Alex Stalock for future considerations? Want to give us, like...
Yeah, I want to trade down from pick number 7 to pick number 14,
right,
something
exactly,
like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be curious. This is all business, too. Business perspective, so... I don't know. I don't know why the hell that was in my notes. Like, I was looking into this. I'm like, why did we write this down?
There's been a lot of players moved around for future considerations over the past couple of weeks. It's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. Moving on, continuing with Oilers news, Vicky Perlini, I think that's how you say it, Oilers Brendan Perlini's mom, took to Twitter in response to the Edmonton Oilers tweet that Brendan Perlini was placed on waivers and that her son found out through her because of that tweet. Tough look on Edmonton. I'm seeing shades of Fleury right now from Vegas.
Yeah, it's never a good thing, and, I mean, I'll never understand it. I don't understand how... Before these things happen, that a coach, a GM, an owner, no one calls the guy to let him know. Like, it's not even like he was, sent to the minors or traded, anything like that. It's just placed on waivers. You don't tell the guy?
Right.
I don't know. It just seems like poor business practice.
Yeah, you're 100%. We just talked about how this is a business and people are professional, but this isn't very... Yeah. I don't get it. That's like going to work and your boss being like, oh... You didn't get the tweet that I sent out that you were fired last night? Like, that's kind of fucked, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of nuts.
I don't know. But moving on here to big scores this week. The Chicago Blackhawks beat the New Jersey Devils 8-5 this week. The Blackhawks, Brandon Hagel and Patrick Kane both got hat tricks that night. New Jersey pulled their goalie for an empty net, which would be Hagel's hat-trick goal. During the sprint to the puck, PK Sluban trips him into the empty net, and a scrum ensues. Did you see that fight that happened?
Yeah, that was nuts. It was kind of crazy to see Hagel go into the net like that, too, and he kind of got up and was, excited to celebrate, but then all of his guys just kind of jumped Subban after. It was pretty funny, and then he was like, oh, got to get involved now.
Yep, got to do something about that, but thanks. I don't think there's any hats left because Patrick Kane got the hat trick and then
Yeah.
Hagel. So just
That would be interesting. I mean, obviously, I've only been to a few games in the grand scheme of things, but to see 2 hat tricks, like, that's
That'd be
nuts.
cool.
The Bruins, the last game I went to, Pasternak scored a hat trick, and I threw my hat on the ice, and I bought a new hat, and they do them 30% off when there's a hat trick, so
Yeah.
I bought a new one. But, like, imagine, like, you go out there, you buy 30% off, you throw, then another hat trick happens, you throw that one on the ice, like, the next one's
What is
like
that, 60%
50% off, right?
That'd be cool.
Another big game this week too. The LA versus Boston game was nuts as well, with a final score of 7-0. The majority of the stats in this game were dead even. LA to Boston shots 34-32, hits 30-33, and faceoffs 34-34. But
Yet
the Bruins just got the puck
somehow
luck.
ended up 7-0.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Better scoring opportunities is what I think. Just a heavier mindset, and yeah.
Speaking about
Little bit of puck
LA,
luck.
we don't really have them in our. We don't really have them, or what I'm gonna say in notes. But tonight, on Friday, March 4th, I can't remember who they're playing. Oh, Winnipeg Jets. They had 3 goals in 46 seconds.
Was that them? I thought it was Blue Jackets. I thought it was a different team. I didn't know it was LA. That's
Oh
nice.
no, you're right. Sorry, it's
It's
Blue
Blue
Jackets.
Jackets?
Sorry,
Yeah.
I was trying to remember it offhand. It's Blue Jackets versus LA, and Quick gave up. Well, I should say the team, just in general, gave up 3 goals in 46 seconds.
That's nuts.
That's nuts. We had another high-scoring game this week. Toronto Maple Leafs beat the Detroit Red Wings. Ho, ho, ho. Almost messed it up
Nice,
again.
nailed
You were
it.
waiting. I
Nailed
saw
it.
you over there.
Nailed it.
They beat them 10-7, which became the highest-scoring game of the 21st century. Mitch Marner picked up 4 goals and 2 assists in the nightmare of a game for a goalie. To break down some stats here, Toronto's Jack Campbell made 20 saves on 25 shots. Peter Mrazek made 4 saves on 6 shots. For Detroit, Alex Nedeljkovic made 19 saves on 25 shots, which just sounds terrible. And Thomas Greiss made 10 saves on 14 shots. Interestingly enough, Toronto has come out and said that they will not be looking for goaltending before the trade deadline. Campbell this season sits at a 2.55 GAA and .917 save percentage, and Mrazek with a 3.22 GAA and .890 save percentage. Toronto's just building their team around offense, and it's just a dumb move to not get better goaltending unless they want to get swept in the first round of the playoffs again.
You don't think Jack Campbell can get them out of the first round?
Nope, not at all.
I think he could. What's wrong with a 917 and a 255?
If it's all offensive and they don't have the defensive guys and they don't have, like, solid... Jack Campbell is a great goalie. I'm not going to put that aside, but he's a backup. Man, you
No, Jack Campbell's a starter for sure.
You think so?
For sure, yeah. You put him on, if he can be on the Toronto Maple Leafs, like you're saying, on a heavily offensive team and put up a 2.55, like any other team he's on is obviously going to do not as well as that, right?
Mm-hmm, right.
And then when you think about it, they're heavily like a heavily offensive team and he's averaging 2.5 goals a game, you don't think the Leafs can put up 3 goals to get the wins in the playoffs? You know, I don't know. I think they're not wrong in saying that they're not looking for a goalie, but I think they should be looking for a backup,
Right.
or a 1A, 1B, because
do you think
Mrazek is the issue, not Campbell, in my opinion.
Okay. Do you think Campbell is Stanley Cup goaltending?
No, and I think you're not going to get Stanley Cup goaltending on the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's
Right.
just
Not
those
gonna
two
happen.
things just don't happen. You
Mhm.
know, I think that if they were to say we are looking for goaltending, you're gonna get in your own starting goalie's head and make him think, oh, they need someone else that's better than me. I'm not performing. I'm gonna shrivel up and suck now. You know,
Right.
So I don't know. I think they're playing it right, and maybe they will. Like I've seen talks of getting Fleury to go to Toronto. That'd be kind of cool,
Ooh,
right? That'd be a nice little pickup.
that'd be
for them.
interesting. Fleury and the whole Toronto shebang with all the interviews and everything too. Think that would get to him?
No, I think he's very good with the media, very good with the spotlight and being front and center, number one for attention. So I don't know. I think he'd be all right.
I feel like we just talked about this too. Remember I did the little side to side with Freddie Anderson and Peter Mrazek, how they changed, and Freddie Anderson right now in Carolina is one of the top goalies in the league.
Yep.
And Peter Mrazek kind of just fell apart. But would that happen with...
I don't think Mrazek
I
was
wanna
like
say-
crazy good last season though.
Yeah, I mean, like, I won't say crazy good, but better.
Yeah.
When he was playing for
yep.
Carolina,
Yep.
right?
They had a much better team in front of you, like well-rounded.
Right, exactly. But with that said, I don't know, because Fleury's having a hard time right now too. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see where he goes because
Yeah.
I remember Fleury did say he wanted to finish off the season with Chicago. So I feel like if anything's going to happen, it's going to be at the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, today's the 4th. This will drop for you guys on the 7th, so next week we'll be looking at trade deadline, so we'll probably have an answer for you in a couple weeks if Fleury moves or not.
Hopefully.
Odds are probably that he'd stay if he said that.
Speaking of Fleury, we'll go back to the Blackhawks here. Chicago has named 33-year-old Kyle Davidson as a team's GM. He becomes the 10th GM in franchise history and also the youngest active GM in NHL. He is also in his 12th season with the organization. Before being named GM, Kyle oversaw all of Blackhawks' salary cap management. He assisted with day-to-day operations, player contracts, entry drafts, salary arbitrations, collective bargaining agreements, as well as scouting the professional and amateur levels. He's done it all. I don't know how much. I don't know much about him, but the fact he's been all around the organization, doing different jobs, and being there for so long makes me think it's a solid decision for the organization's part.
And I kind of noticed too, like it seemed like as his first order of business, he was not interested in working with these two guys. Assistant General Manager Ryan Stewart and the Vice President of Amateur Scouting Mark Kelly are both canned before the end of the week after he was hired, or promoted rather, because he's been with the organization. But it kind of seems like Kyle has been the guy. I mean, Kyle Davidson's been the guy since, he got on there. It seems like they've groomed him and made sure that he touched, every
all
bucket and make sure we know, every role of a GM.
I think that's exactly. No, you nailed it right there. I was just about to say I feel like what would be a good role. I feel like what would make a good GM is to be all around instead of just like being jumped straight to GM. Do all the different roles, know what it's like, know what the people who are doing those roles are like personally and how the job is done, and then become the GM. And I think that's where we're going to see like a huge difference with the Chicago Blackhawks.
And a lot, like we say GM, and no one really looks at it as like general manager. No one really looks at it as management, right?
Right.
But the first rule of managing is like you should be able to know exactly what every person below you is doing. Whoever you're directing to do, you should be able to do their job. And you never ask someone to do something that you couldn't do yourself or wouldn't do yourself.
Right.
So I think that's a huge part of it too. But there are a lot of GMs in the league that are strictly focused on, cap management or scouting or drafting and developing. Like they're brought in for that specific thing and then canned because that's all you can bring to the table.
Yep.
So I think he's got a good resume. He's got everything on, on the list. Every box is checked.
Right.
And I think he'll have a long tenure in the NHL as a GM.
Right.
I'd like to see him have a lot of success too. That'd be cool to see.
Me too. That'd be cool. Another Chicago Blackhawks Stanley Cup. That'd be great.
That'd be nuts.
2010. It's been 12 years. Holy shit. But moving on.
They won in 13 and 17 too, didn't they?
I don't think 7. Oh, I remember 13.
13
I
definitely.
forgot about that. Not 17.
I forget.
Oh, no, I forget now. 17 was
2010
no,
way back.
sorry. 17 was the Pittsburgh Penguins with Matt Murray. 13 was the Chicago Blackhawks. Yeah, sorry, I keep thinking 2010.
But didn't they get 3? That's why they're called the Dynasty.
No.
Okay, I'll look it up.
Yeah, if
I'm
you
like
look that
90% sure that Chicago is like the only team to get 3.
Shit, maybe
in
I'm
X
drawing a
amount of
blank
years.
here. Yeah, look that up. Well, I do some special news for Chris here. Got to talk about it. Every week we got to talk about this. So quick Bruins news for Chris, especially Chris. You guys, listeners don't even have to listen in right now. Jeremy Swagman is the NHL's Rookie of the Month. He put up a 5-1-1 record with a 1.13 GAA, .960 save percentage, and recorded 2 shutouts in those 7 games. Swagnificent.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yep.
Thanks, I hate it, as they say on Reddit.
Yep.
There's actually another goalie that you glanced over from last week. He decided that it just wasn't important because he's not in Boston. Jake Ottinger, this young goalie, he was, 3rd star of the week. Started all 3 games going 2-1-0 and recording a ridiculous 0.98 GAA, .972 save percentage, stopping 104 of 107 shots, a 46 save shutout, and his second career shutout in Chicago.
Sorry, who does he play for again?
Dallas Stars.
Not Boston.
That's right.
That's what's going on. Yep. I only care about Boston apparently over here.
You're saying apparently, but that's kind of what it seems like. Blackhawks won in 2010, 2013, and 2015.
2015.
Yeah.
Okay, yep. 2015. Well, I don't remember that. Interesting.
Yep.
Huh. All right. So more rookie news from Jeremy Swayman and Ottinger's kind of rookie here.
That's what I would say too. Like he's not, but I feel like he could be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Detroit Red. Oh my God, I'm gonna put myself in Detroit Red Wings. Moritz Seider, with 12 points in his last 7 games, which is 1 goal and 11 assists, now holds the point streak franchise record by a rookie defenseman. Seider also tied Nicholas Lidstrom's stat of 40 points in their first 54 career games. Nuts. Side note, Colorado Avalanche Nathan MacKinnon set a new single-game franchise record with 14 shots on goal. The previous record was 12, which I guess I'm a goalie, so I don't really pay attention to that. What do you think about 14 shots on goal?
That's a lot if you think about it. Like, most games end with roughly 30, so he had half of his team's shots on goal almost, you know?
Okay.
Like, if you think about it like that.
Yeah, think about that.
And then if you break it down by period, he's got to have 5 shots on goal in 20 minutes, like, of the actual game time, and then he's only on the ice for how long? You know what I mean? Like, let's say he's on the ice for 25 minutes out of the 60, and now he's put on a shot every 2 minutes. If you look at it like that, you know? Different ways to break it down and check it out, but...
I want to go back to Moritz Seider here, though. So I did want to talk about, NHL put this up too, the rank of the rookies, and there is 16 altogether. Where would you put Moritz Seider in all of them? If I were to, you have Jeremy Swayman up there. I feel like goalies are just different too. But if you look at players, how would you put up Moritz Seider?
You can kind of compare them in the sense of like how well they're doing compared to like their other, you know, their direct competition. How good is he compared to forwards? How good is this guy compared to his defenseman? And same thing for goalies. Right. I would say Moritz Seider's number 1. I think he's going to be the Calder winner this year. What do you think? Lucas Raymond is up there too. I think it's between those two guys.
It's almost insane. Trevor Zegras is up there. I keep saying Alex Nedeljkovic. I'm like, he's been in the league but
another one, Michael Bunting on
Michael
the
Bunting
Leafs.
has come out of nowhere.
He's like 27, but he still technically qualifies to be Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
And he's in between McDavid and Draisaitl for either points or goals in the league. I forget what it is.
I'm going to do a quick. So the 16 players, Sam. I'll do it real quick for everyone listening.
Do not read all 16 names. I'll kill you.
Try.
This is not like the rank either. This is just rank the rookies. Like, put them in the order you want them in. Well,
these are all the rookies that are up there for the Calder.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess so.
Right. And you got like Gold Caulfield, Mike Bunting, you know. I'll say the main dudes here. You got Drysdale, Jeannot, right? That's how you say it?
Yeah, Jeannot's pretty good.
Then you got Lucas Raymond, like I said, Moritz Seider, and Trevor Zegras. Those are like the main ones.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who's the top rookie goalie, you think?
You got Cabo Kakinen, Alex Nedeljkovic, and Jeremy Swayman.
Nedeljkovic is still an option, huh? That's funny.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, I don't think a goalie's going to win it this year.
Not because he's Boston, but I still think Swayman in this list.
I don't know. I don't think he's that elite.
But I love Moritz.
I think Nedeljkovic is a better goalie than Swayman. And who is the other one? Kaapo Kähkönen? I don't know enough about. He's Minnesota, right?
Kaapo Kähkönen's been solid.
I just don't watch enough of his games to know.
Okay.
You know.
But as a player, I'm shocked you. I like Moritz Seider. I do like Moritz Seider, but for a Calder, I guess I'm gonna go with Trevor Zegras.
I think the thing that you get people,
mixed
not
up
you,
with?
the thing that people get misconstrued with it is it almost turns into a popularity contest with how good Zegras is, the shit that he's pulling off, the spotlight and attention he's bringing to the league.
Right.
That's huge. You know what I mean? That's invaluable to the NHL.
Right.
But Moritz Seider is on a bum team, putting the team on his back. So he's more of the league MVP. You know what I mean?
Right.
At the end of the season, and I think that's more important to me if you're talking about.
Right. And he's also with Lucas Raymond too.
And they're boosting each other's stats, but one's a defenseman and one's a forward, so that's a little different too. But I don't know. That is tough. I think
it'll be a tough
I
decision.
want Zegras to win it because I like him. Obviously, I've liked him since before he was popping off.
Right.
But I think Moritz Seider just earned it, deserves it, is producing more consistently and frequently than Zegras.
Especially when you tie the same stats as Nicholas Lidstrom, who's one of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
You know?
It would be interesting to see a defenseman win it too.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point too.
And that's the other thing, because they hone in on points, and it's that's not always the case when it comes to defense and things like that. So.
Moving on from that to the Hamburglers back. We're gonna talk more goalies here. Andrew Hammond started for Montreal this week. The Ottawa Senators. Jesus, can I say that again? So Andrew Hammond started for Montreal this week against Ottawa Senators in Ottawa and was greeted with McDonald's hamburgers thrown on the ice for old time's sake. The Canadiens won 2-1 with Hammond making 26 stops of 27 shots on net. Do you remember the Hamburglar?
Yeah, we talked about him last week when he came back up.
Did we?
Yeah, we brought him up last week. Yeah. But imagine being a fan and just like sneaking into McDouble and just beaning like a NHL player like in the head with it, dude. Like,
thank God he's got a mask, right?
Like, who would they hit on Montreal? Like, who's the guy that everyone fucking hates on Montreal? Oh, I don't know. I don't think there really is one right now because they're just like
not right
that's
now.
like kicking a guy when they're down, just like throwing hamburgers at the Montreal Canadiens bench.
Yeah, I don't know. It was cool to see again. It's been, I feel like forever since I've seen Ottawa start throwing like burgers on the ice with the Hamburglar. Even the Hamburglar came from like not even just the NHL. It was like, what was the University of Maine or something like that? That's when it started.
Yeah, they all get these dumb nicknames.
Dumb.
Hamburger was probably the best one though, by far and away.
I like that one. So we're gonna keep on with the Montreal talk here. The Canadiens faced the Winnipeg Jets this week, and it was the first time playing against Mark Scheifele since Game 1 of the playoffs, where he ransacked Montreal's Jake Evans. Mark Scheifele came out and said, "If Jake Evans wants to give me a fight, I'll answer the bell." The Jets won the game 8-4, with Scheifele getting his 19th and 20th goals of the season.
Time out real quick. That's really good for him, considering it took him, like, I think, 20 games to score a goal this season or something. He was 0 goals for the first 17 or something like that.
He finally got his skates back, you know? Montreal's Chris Weidman did end up fighting Scheifele in this game, which was nice to see since they're too chicken shit to stand up for the goalies when they get run into. Referee Tim Peel came out on Twitter saying he has zero respect for Mark Scheifele and what he did to Jake Evans. He says Scheifele has also never had respect for officials either, and finishes a tweet applauding Chris Weidman for his fight with Scheifele. I was actually ready for this game. I thought it'd be a lot more crazy, but apparently not.
It's kind of a snooze fest, like I said, when it comes to Montreal playing. But Jake Evans even had a quote, too, about this. I'm going to butcher it, but it was basically along the lines of, like, yeah, I thought this was all said and done and settled last season when we knocked them out of the playoffs kind of thing, you know?
100%. I mean, yeah, Montreal had that run, you know, but...
No, wait. Montreal did not get bounced by Winnipeg, so what the hell was that? I don't know. I butchered that Jake Evans quote, but something like that. He's basically, I thought this was settled at the end of last season, you know?
Yeah. Well, Jake Evans was Montreal, so they ransacked Winnipeg and just kept going to the finals.
That's what it is. Yep. There we go.
But, oh, man, it's funny when this information came up because they re-showed that hit from Mark Scheifele. And God damn, dude.
Brutal.
Like, he lined him up.
Brutal.
It was just, it wasn't looking good. Another record this week on Tuesday's game against the New York Islanders, the Colorado Avalanche won 5-3, getting their 40th win in 54 games and tying the Detroit Red Wings for second place in fewest games to 40 wins in NHL history. The Red Wings, oh man, I'm giving myself a tongue twister tonight, took the second spot back in the 2000-2008 season, the season that they won the Stanley Cup. And first spot is Washington Capitals from the 2015-16 season, where it took them 53 games to hit that 40-win mark. So congrats to Colorado. Colorado's been an absolute tear this season. It's great to see.
Head and shoulders above the rest of the league, for sure.
100%. Moving on from that, too, the last bit of NHL news this week. The NHL announced the next stadium series. It will be between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Washington Capitals on February 18th, 2023 in Raleigh, North Carolina at Carter Finley Stadium. This comes a few weeks after this year's Stanley Cup. This year's Stadium Series, where the Smashville Predators took on the Tampa Bay Bolts at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. I love seeing TB rock the Canadian tuxedos and Nashville rock leather to the game. Yeah, that was cool as shit. Fun to see the league relax stress protocols and let them do fun stuff like this. We just talked about what's his name coming in with the Canadian tuxedo.
Yeah, I think his name's Mike Pizzetta.
Mm-hmm.
So all the guys had to be dressed up formal, and I think he's just denim on denim Canadian tuxedo and thought that would fly.
Yeah,
so.
that mullet.
Yeah, he had a mullet, mustache, like sick cowboy hat.
I love how you're like, he just thought that would fly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's probably gonna get whacked from the league. Like, I don't think that counts as a tuxedo, but so funny. But the video, like, they're getting off the bus looking all sharp, and then like it's like a normal video, and then it goes slow-mo, and it's just him getting off the bus.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I still want that Smashville and Bolts jerseys, by the way. They were so sick.
Yeah, those are nice.
I like the Stadium Series. Like, it's not as crazy as, like, the Winter Classic, but I feel like the Stadium Series, like, the jerseys and stuff for the team so far have been, like, really cool looking, you know?
Yeah, except for Toronto's. Those things suck.
Yeah, those are fucking atrocious. But let's move on to some more action here. So, some OHL and AHL talk. A player to look out for is the OHL's London Knights forward Luke Evangelista. The 20-year-old from Oakville, Ontario, scored his third hat trick of the season. Putting him at 41 goals in 41 games, and currently leads the league in goals with 42. Last year, he played for the Chicago Wolves of the AHL for 14 games, putting up 4 points. This is his third season with the London Knights. He was drafted 42nd overall to the Nashville Predators in the 2020 NHL Draft. Big dude to look out for. Again, young kid. Probably, I don't know. Chicago Wolves, you think? I didn't realize Chicago Wolves was Nashville Predators AHL affiliated as well. Am I wrong with that? I thought that was the Blackhawks affiliate. I know.
Wait, where do you see Nashville?
He was drafted in Nashville. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Some of the
don't they share AHL
yeah,
affiliates?
you can like loan players over to different teams to get them to like develop over there for some reason. I don't really see the benefit in it.
Yeah, I mean,
but maybe it's like I have too many good prospects right now on my team, right? I don't want to take away from one of my other guys.
Right.
If I can get him onto the Chicago roster to grow and develop, I'm not losing out.
Maybe,
I'm not picking him over one of my own guys.
Maybe.
That could be it.
Yep. Let's see. Jack Hughes Sully has some competition after this week. Manitoba Moose of the AHL play the Chicago Wolves again, and it went into a shootout. Manitoba Moose player Jeff Mallett scores the game winner and immediately leaves the ice. Also had to muscle his way past the backup goalie on his way off the ice. Reminded me of Nashville Ryan Johansson scoring the OT game winner a few years ago and immediately leaving the ice. I loved that. Man, you sent me that.
It was
a
savage move,
laughing.
dude. Savage move. And the fact that like he skates directly to like the Zamboni doors and like the backup goalie is like forced to open the doors for him and then basically just get like not shoved out of the way, but like kind of looked like he muscled past him a little bit. He's like, get out of here, dude.
I love how there's like 4 angles of it, and there's 2 of them that are just beautiful. Like I just have that on just like repeat. And it's just so funny. It's just so casual. Like he scores and just like no arms up, just like arms to the side, just like gets off the ice.
Yeah, savage. That's how Johansson did it too when he won, and his was in overtime, so it was like live play rather than like shootout where everything stopped and you watch the goal happen. This dude like scored live OT and just said, "Yep, so yeah, we're done here."
You got to do that at a rink where you could do that, where like you could just go off like the siding and like in the back, because you can't just do that going back to your bench.
Yeah,
you know,
100%. There was another cool little celly too. I don't know what league it was in. This was kind of messed up actually. The team celebrating a big win. They're all like huddled in the corner. It almost looks like high school or like youth. And like the parents are like over the glass, like leaning over, yelling down, like cheering with them. And one dad is like a little further to the left, and he's like hanging on the glass like with his fingers. And then he sees like one of the kids come over from the pile and goes, and the kid jumps up in the glass. The dad like lets go and backs away, and the glass just shatters everywhere, like all over the kid, all over the dad. No. Hilarious.
So more news here. We got. We also have a goalie goal that happened this week. Lucas Dostal, right? Who we've seen play for the Anaheim Ducks this season, scored a goal with the San Diego Gulls. They played the Colorado Eagles for a 5-2 win. Dostal made 51 saves and established the second longest shutout streak in team history, while also getting the first goalie goal in franchise history. The shutout streak came from the previous game versus the Henderson Silver Knights, where they won 4-0, and Dostal claimed his first career AHL shutout. This season, Dostal has played 3 games with the Anaheim Ducks, going 1-1, and 22 games with the Gulls, going 12-8. With a 2.48 GA and .919 save percentage. That was cool as shit to see. Like, he put everything into it. I don't know if you've seen the other angle of it, but, like, he pretty much busted his ass trying to get it.
Yeah, he did. He fell, he ate shit. And even funnier, too, that goal goes in, and they're all celebrating, and I think the assistant captain gets hit with, like, a high stick or a butt end, like, right in the mouth, like, while they're celebrating. That was hilarious, too. That was good.
Yeah, just cool to see a goalie goal. You got to do so much, you know? You got to have so much strength to do it. Because at that level, man, like, you can't just toss it. Like, there's players with, like, such good hand-eye coordination, they'll just knock it down, you know? Be like, no, you're not getting a goal on me.
I was warming up this week, my Wednesday morning skate, and I went to go, like, shoot a puck into the net, and that Montreal stick finally snapped, like, right where that mummy tape job in the middle was, like, the foam core just... I was like, all right, well, time to break out the Bauer. And I actually used one of my new CCMs on the... in the game. Oh no, it's a Warrior. One of the new Warriors.
Oh, was it?
In the on the
I like
Wednesday
it.
night game. Yeah, it's good.
Is it heavy?
No, it's pretty light. I mean, stick's a stick to me. I don't give a shit. As long as it's the goalie
Just
stick,
noticing
it
the
works.
difference. Like, Bauer's like really light. CCM's a little heavier now. Like, I don't like using it now. I don't know. That's what it is. Another hockey news: top 2022 NHL draft prospect Ivan. Oh my God, here we go. I'm gonna butcher this. Miro Schnitznik. Oh, let me take this. Ivan Miro Schnichenko.
Yeah, Miro Schnichenko.
Schnichenko.
There we go.
Was recently diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma and will be taking time away from hockey. Hodgkin's lymphoma is a cancer of the immune system called the lymphatic system. As the cancer progresses, it limits the body's ability to fight infections. So from us to you, I hope, things get better. I hope you find the treatment that you need. It sucks to suck, man. Like, you get to that level where just, like, you're a draft pick in the NHL, which is where you've been, working your ass off to. And then all of a sudden this bad news happens. So
Yeah.
I feel like I've been seeing this a lot more, though.
The worst part is, too, Hodgkin lymphoma is, like, one of the, like, worst cancers, like, that you can get. The lymphatic system is very important in the human body, and I hear it's not exactly pain-free.
Oof, that's rough.
Sad to see. I hope that he fights it and beats it.
Yeah. Yep.
See him back on the ice, hopefully, too. That'd be cool.
That'd be great. You want to get this next one?
Yeah, so we missed one little NHL blurb here. Calgary versus Minnesota on February 26th. This was a good game to watch. The Calgary defenseman Oliver Shillington ends up getting sent into the boards over the leg of Minnesota's forward, Hartman. And from the camera angle, the injury looked really bad, but I don't think that Hartman had any intent of throwing Shillington like that. Hartman was like the attacking forward coming in towards the net basically. It kind of helps his case in the sense of he didn't like try to kill him. And a scrum ends up building up. Shillington's down on the ice. Like, he's not knocked out, but he's like, in pain. Right. He almost ends up at the bottom of this pile, and Markstrom actually stepped out of the Calgary net and protected him while he waited for the trainers to come over. And the big takeaway from all of this is I just don't think it matters if a fighter scrum like should or should not happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, does this player need to answer the bell, yes or no?
Yeah.
That's not even the question right now, right? The players in general just need to be more aware of injuries on the ice. And, like, if he was seriously hurt, like, the smallest movement can change the outcome of his injuries. Like, if he has a neck injury and someone, like, kicks his head to the side, now, he can get really messed up by that, you know? Mm-hmm. And we've seen it a ton of times where players, like, ragdoll on the ice, and the players are, like, basically borderline stepping on their own injured teammate.
Right.
Just so that they can, like,
fight.
Fucking, not even fight, like,
Scrum.
grab each other. You know what I mean? It's like, are we serious? What are we doing here?
You could tell by Hartman's just the way he looked after that happened, where he kind of stood still, just like, the hell just happened.
Yeah, he didn't know.
I Jacob Markstrom came out and it was like attacked him, and then went to go check out Shillington, and I just knew it was bad just by like Markstrom's like reaction, because like he got on his knees, just like look at Shillington, and he's like waving over the trainers, like, oh shit, like what's going on here? But good for Shillington that he's back though. Like,
he's already back playing again.
Yeah, he's
nice.
Back. He was out for like just like a few days.
So he was like faking. Doesn't hurt.
Yeah, he's bluffing. Like, who was that player that we were talking about last year that just like he just like knocked out, like completely like ragdolled, and like literally like 2 days later he's like, yeah, back on the ice.
I don't know. I know Tavares got creamed in the playoffs with the knee to the head. I don't know.
I just can't remember. But is there something? No. Want to move on to the next? Did you finish that, by the way?
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay, cool. Moving on from that, the Russia, Ukraine, and hockey news. That there's a lot going on now with hockey, Russia, Ukraine, and it's all really impacting the hockey world. And they're really taking action and speaking out against it. So we got a bunch of notes here. What's going on so far in the past week? Dominik Hasek called to have Russian NHL player contracts suspended. And then we have Wayne Gretzky came out and said he thinks international hockey should say they're not allowed to play in the World Juniors. The NHL came out in a statement that effective immediately, they are suspending their relationship with their business partners in Russia and discontinuing any consideration of Russia as location for anything involving the NHL. Some actions were taken in the KHL and IIHF as well. The KHL, or now former KHL team, Dynamo Riga, announced they are leaving the KHL and all of its structures due to Russia's aggression in Ukraine. The IIHF suspended all Russian and Belarusian teams until further notice. They also withdrew the hosting rights of the 2023 World Juniors from Russia. And the NHL, teams are upping their security after Russian players received death threats both in their DMs and in real life. CCM Hockey will stop using Alex Ovechkin and other Russian players in their global marketing. On top of that, the Washington Capitals' Capital One Arena are not allowing any fan signs regarding Ukraine and or Russia. On the other end of the spectrum, Winnipeg versus Montreal, Winnipeg had a Ukrainian chorus sing both the Canadian and Ukrainian national anthem before the match, and I loved that. That was cool as shit to see. There's a huge stat for Winnipeg. It was like a huge 40% of the population in Winnipeg are Ukrainian.
Yeah, I thought that was cool to see too.
Yeah. And the UEFA also suspended Russia from the international football, including the Men's 22 World Cup and Women's Euro 2022. We're going to see more and more and more of this just come, and it happened just so quick. I just don't like the fact that the Russian players are just getting these death threats,
Yeah, people are fucking psychos online. They think that they can just type whatever they want behind a keyboard and you're never gonna catch me kind of thing. It's so stupid, man. Don't do that shit.
Right. That these Russian players have nothing to do with what's going on. It's just disgusting to see, and I don't know. This is all just the beginning. So this is just kind of like COVID, where we're just trying to figure this out on the go. What's the best move to do?
Mm-hmm. And now some of these memes, they can get a little insensitive, when it comes to war and everything. But I thought the funniest one to me, it probably wasn't funny to Ovechkin and all these other people. But the funniest one to me was the year that the Caps won the Cup, and Ovi's meeting with Trump. He's shaking hands and laughing and giggling with him, and then they cut away, and it's the ESPN commercial where he's a Russian spy. I'm like, that's hilarious, for someone to make that connection and put that together. I thought that was good. But.
And Varlamov's just in the front.
Yeah, they're speaking Russian to each other too. Oh, shit.
In more sad news from what's going on, MLS has passed, which is Major League Soccer, has passed the NHL as the fourth most followed sport in the USA.
Told you, man.
Not a fan of that.
Told you.
Fucking people like soccer more than hockey?
Yeah, I told you. It's the 3 M's. No one else gives a shit about hockey.
This is dumb.
No, that's just... Soccer's the most popular sport in the world. What do you mean this is dumb?
Which is dumb. It's not even called soccer, by the way. Say soccer to a European, they're just you mean football? And in my head, I'm just you mean American football?
No.
And they hate that, too.
Well, they should, because their sport was made first, and then Americans grab this ball that's a long object. It's not a ball that we call football that we really only kick twice, once in a while. You know what I mean?
We don't really
throw the thing. Why is it football?
Don't really use our feet with the ball.
So American football to soccer or to football is what Finnish baseball is to American baseball. That's a callback. All right.
This is all you, bud.
Yeah, so I got a lot of absurd nonsense news here for us to catch up on.
Absurd.
So in lacrosse, this is the craziest scores I've ever seen. The College of Idaho defeated Southern Oregon by a score of 42-2. And then the next weekend, they went on to defeat the University of Idaho 27-3. This is absurd, especially since there isn't a 2-point line in college. And they're just running up the score like this. I feel like it's kind of disrespectful. What do you think?
So I'm not a huge lacrosse guy. You are. You sent me a bunch of stuff. And you sent me a video of some dude explaining this league, especially, where just I don't know. And I was able to kind of interpret what he said with men's hockey league, where, this league is the New England Senior League of lacrosse, where just guys don't give a shit. They just disrespect people. They're running up, and then you have Sticky Socks hockey, where everyone's friends. They just want to be have a good time. And if one team's doing better, the few of the good players from one team will just go over and help the other team because they always want to have fun. And the way he explained that, that's how I interpreted it. And this is the league that gets 42-2. I literally had to ask you, I'm like, when you score a goal in lacrosse, how many points do you get? And you're like,
yeah, exactly,
1?
right.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah. In the PLL, and I believe they had it in the MLL in effect before the MLL folded, there is a 2-point line if you shoot from far enough out and you get 2 points for it. But I don't think that applies in college, and I think case in point was that Bryant versus BU game that we covered last week where the long pole scored from his own end. I think he only got 1 goal for that one, you know what I mean? And that would be from behind the 2-point line. So, but yeah, I just thought it was insane to score to see. Like 42-2 is nuts.
That's nuts.
Insane.
I was gonna do notes on this for you because actually I had it in my notes and I specifically said Chris notes on there.
Yeah.
And then I was like, let me just check out their Instagram, and I saw like literally I think it was the game before that, where it was 27-3. And I'm like, whoa, dude, it's fucking blowing through here.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
Moving on, though, the MLB is actually having a delayed season because the owners decided to lock out the players this week as their CBA contract from 2017 was set to expire this year. The owners and players could not reach an agreement thus far. The owners want to expand playoffs to include more teams because they get 100% of the TV revenue during playoffs, and the players get a small portion once playoffs begin. And in exchange for this, the owners would lower the number of regular season games to 154 and implement a universal designated hitter rule. 2 things that the players have been asking for. And then the players want to raise the shrinking percentage of revenue going to players, along with many other issues that are mind-numbing and boring unless you're a baseball fan. They wanted to see tanking addressed across the league as well. Basically, billionaires want to get richer off the backs of the players who make up the entire league and would be nothing without them. And the players just want to even out the playing field and, get their fair share of the money. And in any league, I will 9 times out of 10 side with the players over the owners. That's just how I feel.
Oh, I feel.
Moving right along. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I guess these are my notes now, so I might as well do it.
There you
go. We've actually been talking about this as of late because we're getting there. I know it's March and it's snowy out, but we're getting toward golf season here. And with golf comes the Saudi Golf League.
Potentially.
We are a hockey podcast still, by the way.
Sometimes.
These are Chris's notes. The Saudi Golf League has been the talking point in the golfing world in 2022, and it doesn't appear to be going away, with reports being released daily about the players receiving huge money offers and signing non-disclosure agreements. The Saudi Arabian government has been accused of a bunch of human rights violations by watchdog groups around the world. Phil Mickelson says he is willing to get involved with the Saudi finance breakaway golf league to have leverage with the PGA Tour. He also said the PGA Tour likes to pretend like it's a democracy, but it's really a dictatorship. They divide and conquer. The concerns of the top players are very different from the guys who are lower down on the money list, but there's a lot more of them. They use the top guys to make their own situations better, but the top guys don't have a say. The Saudi Public Investment Fund is one of the largest sovereign wealth funds on the planet, and total assets are valued somewhere around $500 billion. Based on the reported deals being offered to players to consider a move to the Saudi Golf League, it also appears to be earning a profit isn't chief concern of the breakaway league. They're just trying to grow. Bryson DeChambeau, Phil Mickelson, and many others have come out saying they were going to start the league up. Many of Mickelson's top sponsorships have been pulling due to the negative comments about the PGA. The Saudi Golf League seems to have players backing out left and right, and without 20 members, I don't believe it will have the leg to get off the ground. If this is the case, I wonder if Phil Mickelson, one of the PGA's top stars, will even be allowed back on tour. That's I like that. You added that. I like that question.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the shithouse with the PGA for telling them that they're a dictatorship. Like, that's kind of, wild and out there, but it's really not. The PGA doesn't exactly run things proper. And then on top of that, now he is losing all of his sponsorships and money. He's redacting his comments and taking everything back, but I don't know what that'll get him. We'll see. And I think Mickelson's like, it's just weird to come out with a comment like that before you know that the thing is set in stone, like we're good to go,
Right.
Because you are now putting yourself on an island, and all the other players are going to be like, yeah, you know what, you're right, we should just go back and play PGA. Nuts. But it is weird to see. You get into all these ethical and moral dilemmas of, is it okay to work for a country, how do I say it? I guess a government entity that's, getting their money from whatever,
Right. exactly.
Not exactly ethical shit.
We have been going down some golf rabbit holes as of late. You're the one who brought up Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau, who I've never heard before in my life, and I'm now like a Bryson DeChambeau guy. You're a Brooks Koepka guy, so we're on like 2 episodes of the spectrum here. But I don't know. How do you feel about this league, by the way? Why is this a big thing? Also,
I think it's because the PGA doesn't like respect. I think PGA is similar to MLB. It's billionaires wanting to make more off millionaires. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're just not respecting their players, and this is their way of creating a new league to compete. But I don't know what's going to happen.
yeah. I mean, for as long as I've known, I thought PGA was like the only professional league for golf, and the more we're doing this, the more it's like, oh, there's a bunch of others. Just like that Waste Management League, where
That's just a tournament. That's part of the PGA as well.
oh, I didn't know that.
Those are sponsored tournaments. But lastly, I got some NFL news. This is Michigan Wolverines linebacker David Ojabo. He actually didn't step foot on a football field until his junior year of high school. He was born in Nigeria and moved to Scotland when he was 7, and then moved to Blairstown, New Jersey by himself at the age of 15 to play basketball for high school.
Holy shit.
And then a couple of years later, he transitioned to football and received dozens of offers from colleges across the U.S. While playing for Michigan this past year, he recorded 35 tackles and 11 sacks, and this month he's going to be prepping for the NFL Combine. So just an awesome come-up story. I thought it was pretty cool to see. Someone like completely out of the blue, like unexpected. Now he's going to be a stud. Hopefully.
I like that. That's cool as shit. Damn, 7 years old by yourself. Let me move to this other country.
15. So he moved to Scotland with his family when he was 7, and then when he was 15, he moved to the United States by himself.
Oh, okay.
Nuts.
And then moved to Blairstown, New Jersey.
That's nuts.
You know what you feel about New Jersey.
That's right. But that's all I got for this episode. You cool if we wrap it up?
Yeah.
You got a shot to take?
I don't want to do it.
Then don't do it. I can't do it. I'm not feeling too well. I think we need to get off the air before I
Not feeling it right now.
Yeah, blow some chunks, dude. I'm not feeling right now.
It's gonna be a short one today, boys and girls. I'm gonna do it because I said I was gonna do it.
This thing's hilarious.
I don't have any nips. I don't want to do the SoCo or anything, and here we are. This is the bottom of the barrel because I refuse to do tequila. It's called Four Loko Pregame. It's Four Loko shot lemonade. And
I think it's just gonna be like regular Four Loko, but they put it in that
for
instead.
everyone who wants to see. This is
Ooh, look at the glare. There you go. That's good. Yeah, that's funky.
And
down the hatch.
I asked you for a shot glass, and you're like, "No, just drink it like a man." Well, here I am.
I didn't say drink it like a man. I said drink it straight out of that thing.
Like a man.
You were like, yeah, do it like a man.
Oh, God.
Yeah, just take a swig, take the rest home with you. I don't want that in my house.
Where's your water bottle? Because I need to...
Yeah, here you go. Just in case.
I'm afraid to.
It's not cracked.
No, because I need to cheers. We'll cheers with the water.
All right. I'm not taking a sip, though.
No, that's fine.
Anything can
Oh, my
set
God.
me
That
off.
stinks, bro. All right, let's do it.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Glug. That's good, yeah.
Oh, no. Dude, I never... Oh, no. At first, it was like, no, and then it's like,
Dude,
maybe?
I can smell it from here. It's going to set me off. It's going to set me off in a minute, dude. We got to
Really?
go.
Okay, we got to go. All right. Oh, God. No, you can't send us out. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for listening in, especially you Spotify and Apple listeners, and for everyone helping us out on our YouTube channel Around the Boards, for liking and subscribing. If you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for you Apple and Spotify listeners, go check us out at, again, Around the Boards on YouTube. I will be having 2 Mic'd Up with Matt episodes coming up soon, hopefully. But with that said, let's wrap up episode 61. And with that said, everyone have a good night. We'll see you all next week. Anything you want to say?
Peace.